Hello everybody, welcome to another class. Let me make sure that everything is working fine. Give me just a few minutes or maybe seconds to see if YouTube will load and I can hear myself well and see everything well. So in today's class, we will continue to solve our questions. So today we solve the question number 12. So let's see, is it still low here? Let's see what is going on. Hello, hello, testing, testing, hello, hello. Let's go, YouTube. Show yourself. It's take a while today. Let's see. I did it start, right? Yes, I did. Oh, maybe I know what is going on. Let me try this. I'm streaming direct to the channel, so was not what I was looking. So let's see here. No. Yeah, sorry for this delay. Yes, I did. Oh, maybe I know what's going on. Let me try this. I'm streaming direct to the. Okay, looks like now it's all good. Let's see the sound. Hello, hello, testing, testing. Let me pick up. This is the time at college when the students are walking and the professors get ready. So be patient. The sound is a little bit low. I think, let's see if this looks like now it's all good. Let's see the sound. Hello, hello, testing, testing. Now it's good. So, okay, let's go. So the question that we solve today is, let me make some, I can, no, because we need to execute anyway. Let me say tax of a product. Okay, let's go. So the question today is, read the buying price, cost, desired profit percentage, and the sales tax percentage of a product, and calculate the final sales. This question seems to be very simple, but we'll learn some important lesson here that we don't own how things has to be done. We are the software engineer, we build stuff, but we have to follow some specs, some specification. So it's very important for us to confirm if you are doing makes sense. When we are working in a company for a long time, we know the business enough that we have some authority to decide or even to have an educated guess how to do stuff. But let's see what kind of mistake we could do in this. Let's see if I can minimap. Yeah, I want to find that guy. Let's see what kind of mistake we do, because sometimes I feel that if a teacher or a professor is teaching doing the perfect solution, maybe make harder for most of the people to learn, because it's nice to show how we can get into a good solution, and is required to do some like improvement for a solution. So let's go. Important thing to do here. Let's identify what our ingredients, the data that we need to get in and put out. So as we can see here easily, we have to read the buy price. And just to learn in this business, because if you're going to work in any like web store or any e-commerce thing, you have to understand those concepts. Cost is how much it costs me to have something. So it's how much I bought a product. What is the percentage of the profit I want to have? We already did a question with this, but now we have something else, sales tax percentage. So like the profit, desired profit, sales tax is percentage, because usually is how everything is determined. Like when we gonna do some increase, calculate tax, it's all about percentage. So is that why in coding it's very important for us to know how to calculate percentage, because it's a very common calculation. So Like I said, you don't need to be good at math. You just need to know the 4 basic operations, integer division, and percentage, because it's very common. If you go work in a gym, what is the percentage of the body mass or body fat you had? So percentage that you have increased and percentage of this and that, tax. So it's a very common calculation that we need to know, okay? Luckily, it's very easy. We just divide per 100%. That means per, in Portuguese, is 100, cento. So it's per 100, okay? So, and calculate the final price, the final sales price. It's not said here, but imagine that someone has no idea about this calculate. How will you guess? We have to ask. We could conclude that the sale price will be the cost plus the profit plus the sale tax. But then we have to figure out, should we apply the percentage for sale tax only on the cost or after we apply the profit? You may be in doubt, so it's good to check. If you have a little bit of experience, you're gonna know, well, the government wants the big value, so the tax is on top of your profit. If you buy something for $100 and you sell for $500, the tax goes to the $500 because the government wants you to share all the money that you do. Some part go back to the government so they can do stuff for us. This is how all the countries work. So the taxes, we are a part of the government and you help everybody. So if you produce more, you're gonna pay more tax, and even the percentage increase. And we're gonna be indirectly helping people around us, okay? And even far away from us. So let's go. Here is our program, okay? Always have this in mind. We have to figure out what is the input, what is the output, and then we have to see, okay, what is our processing, what we need to do from having that input that we can provide the output. So we can easily see here that our, I'll do like this now. Let's see if it's better. Our input will be buying, I'll call just buy price or buying price, desired profit percentage, and sales tax percentage. So just to let you know, we are simplifying here because sales tax sometimes is a combination, depending the type of the product. There is a sales tax for the state. There is the federal sales tax. So there is a science to calculate the sales tax. So it's a little bit more complicated, but in some point, we have to identify what is the final sales tax and then apply it. So it's kind of the case here. When you're gonna work, someone that knows how to calculate sales tax has to tell you. Is that why I like to tell, don't worry if you don't know how to solve a lot of problems, because we have to figure out, ask around, or get some documentation how to solve the problem. It's like this. If you don't know how to calculate the sales tax, you need to ask for help. So calm down and don't get scared if you see stuff that you don't know. It's very common, okay? And now what is our output? We need to produce an output here. How I put this guy to the other side? Oh, like this. Oh, cool. And our output will be the final sales price. It's good to see here like some details. Final means, okay, we have to do some calculation based on the buying price to find the final sale price. Means that final because we have some calculation in the middle, because we have different type of price. that there is price, price before tax, price after tax. So now that I'm working in a company that has accounting, I need to learn a lot about those things, because all will impact in your like tax stuff. Okay, so the question is how we calculate it. In a daily work, it's not up to us, because probably we may do some mistakes. We need some business people to confirm that you come in the specification. So just to help you visualize, as a software engineer, you are in your work and then you go to a portal. There is many different ones, Jira, what are the other ones? There is, as like Microsoft has one as well. And there is the Asana, there is some other ones. And you see, oh, what is in my plate for today? What my manager assigned to me is this task. And then you're gonna read what is the specification. And then sometime the documentation is good. It's enough to just read and do it. But most of the time it's just a phrase, something like this. And you say, well, I have a clue, I have an idea, but... And then you put some posts there. You can tag the person. Oh, is this the right way to do this calculation? And then wait. You can start to do your work. You can do like the way that you think it is. And then you wait for a response. After that, you say, oh, do you know, I did the calculation for those. Could you confirm if they are correct? And then there is some communication there. So it's very important to understand that communication, collaboration is essential. So even more when you are starting your career, because if you try to do everything by yourself without proper like checking, confirmation, probably do unnecessary mistakes. Okay, so let's go. We already learned last class how to calculate a percentage. So here we could easily calculate the profit. As we have the profit percentage, we can have the profit value, or profit amount, or just profit. Once we have this, we got is the input, the buying price. Then we can say, oh, where should I apply the sales tax? Someone could think, oh, I will apply the sales tax on the buying price and then add that to the profit. But that is not correct. So usually, unless you are in a different country, the laws change, so you could do something different. But here, what you need to do is calculate the sales tax using the buy price plus profit. So this is very important, because imagine that you're in an interview, you just read this and you just type the program. Even if you do it correctly, you miss the opportunity to collaborate, to do some communication. And most of the time in the interview, they want to see that as well. They are not expecting you to just do coding. Most of the time they know that you can code. Is that why you are in that interview? They already did some filter before. But they want to know if you are like a beginner that just read and do stuff, or you are someone that really value, oh, what I'm doing. Let me explain what I'm thinking. Let me get some feedback. If I don't know what to do, pay attention for the clues, because as part of the interview, sometimes you get a hard question because the interviewer is expecting you to make some question and he'll guide you to a solution. And it's better for you to make some question and hear or understand the tips, the clue, and then build the solution. The best interview is not the one that you know exactly what to do, but it's the one that you can figure out based on your question or the tip, the clues that the interviewer will give you. Okay, so now that we have this, we are not even think about code. All this part, like reading the specifications, just plain English. In every language, high-level language, sometimes there are let's say, ambiguous thing, because he is not clear that, oh, we need to apply the desired profit on top of the buy price, has the price before tax, then we have those combined and we apply the sales tax. Otherwise, you could put your company in trouble, because if you apply the tax only on the cost, later on, when your company has to submit the tax for the IRS, you'll be in trouble, because a lot of money will be missing and your company will be in trouble. So is that why system has to be very, I guess, correct, because we could give a lot of trouble if you don't do our work correctly. Okay? So now that we have an idea, is only when we can think, okay, now let's start to code. I just had to say, okay, I will read 3 variables. I will calculate what is the profit. We did this in the last question. Now I'll calculate the sales before tax, that is just add those two, the buy price plus the profit. And then I'll calculate the sales tax on top of that, and then I'll have the final sales price. This part is not software engineer. This part is more like business and process. When you figure out how, or not how, what to do is analysis. So most of the time when we get our Jira task to do our work, this is already explained. Usually there is like the formula. You calculate the sales price this way. You just need to know how to make that math. So coding can be as easy as that if you are in a very organized company and you have some support. You just read what you need to do, you go there and do. Of course, it's not like that. As high as you go in your career, you have to figure out even what needs to be done. Because sometimes the user or the client, they don't know, the customer, they don't know exactly how to improve the process, improve the business. So depending on the maturity of the company, you do more like coding, or you have to do more analysis as well. Okay, so let's go. Oh, one thing here that we didn't ask, is buy price, is desired profit, and everything float or integer? Like I said, depending of the design, could or not. Most of the time they are, because as we can see, price in real world, most of the times it float. Okay, so let's start to get our variables. So we'll have a variable that we're going to call buying price, that we know will be a float, and we want the user to provide that value. So we'll give a prompt here, buy price. Or cost, you could just say cost. Then we'll read the profit percentage. Pay attention that here in the specification, I can use plain text. I can put whatever I want there. Symbols, I can do whatever I want. Here, no, we have to follow the rules. Remember that we learn how to give names to a variable. We have to follow some rules. So in the code, it's very strict. And here, do the same. Float, input, and then I will desire, or I can just say, to make sure, short, profit percentage. This is just a prompt. And then I will read the sales tax percentage. Float, input, and then sales tax percentage. So I think I want you to even think that, oh, this is so boring. We already learned all this. Good. Because we will learn more complex thing that this has to be easy for you. So what we have up to this point, we are reading 3 variables. And now you calculate the first one. So the first one we say will be the profit. And then we already learned what is the profit. It will be the buy price multiplied by, if I want to be like precise, profit percentage divided by 100. With time, those math get easy in your brain. Sometimes when we do some mistakes, when we think we know, and then we do some mistakes. That's why we need to test. Whatever you do, a good engineer is the one that do proper testing for what they produce. Okay. Now that we have the profit, we could say, okay, now what is my price before tax? Just to break down. And that will be my buying price plus my profit. So if I did the right math, if I buy something for $100, I want to have 30%. My price before tax will be 130. Okay? Now that I have this bigger amount, that is how much I bought, plus the profit I want to do, so it's exactly the previous question. And we could just copy and paste what was there. Now what we can do, okay, let's calculate how much is the sale tax. How much is the value, and not just the percentage. Sale tax will be equals to price before tax multiplied by sales tax percentage divided by 100. So now we have the sales tax. And what we can do now, well, the final price to sell our product will be sales price will be price before tax plus sales tax. So let's review, and if we do mistakes, we fix it. Okay, we read the three variables, we calculate the profit, we calculate the price before tax, that is how much we bought plus the profit. Once you have the price before tax, we calculate how much is the sales tax on this guy, so it will be all this, apply the percentage of the sales tax. Once we have the sales tax, now I want to sell this product because I want to have this profit, and I have to pay this tax to the government. So this is my profit. This is the IRS or government profit. So if I sell this without the sales tax will come out of my pocket. So what we do, as we want to make more money as possible, we add the sales tax on top of our profit. So we make our customer pay for the tax. Is that why we pay tax over tax? Because we pay our return tax every year, and everything we buy, we pay tax on top of it as well. Okay? So now that we have this value, I could put everything here that is the processing, and then I can say, okay, now I will print something like this. If I want to be, I was not asked to do this, calculate the final sales price. A good candidate in an interview say, oh, should I print the price before tax, the sales tax, and then the profit, the price before tax, sales tax, and the sales price? Because if I'm calculated, there is a chance that we will use it. You can get a response like, no, do exactly what I'm asked to. You say, okay, cool. Or, oh, good idea. Thank you that you saw that. Okay, so it's always good to ask. So to don't make like a very long line, what I will do here is I will do some prints, say, okay, profit will be equals to, and then I will put the variable profit here. I will put in another line, I interpolate price before tax. Pay attention that those variables here was not told to us. That is part of our processing. This is up to us to figure out what we need from this to get the final response. So this is our recipe, how we do the stuff. What to do is told to us. How to do is up to us to do. Okay, so price before tax, and then we can print here just the variable price before tax. And then print sales, sales tax. Imagine that you are doing a recipe. Sometimes you have to put the tax there, the amount. If you're in a restaurant, even the tip. Okay, sales tax will be equals to, and then a variable here that will be sales tax. And now you will print the sales price. How much will you sell? What is in the, what the customer will pay us, and then here will be the variable sales price. Is this correct? We already should assume that no, we cannot trust our code. It's very easy for us to do some mistakes here. And a good engineer will always try to break what he built. Is how we make sure that our code is okay. So we could start with some values that we know. Today you can use AI to produce that, or we can do it in our hands. So let's try some values here. So let me put a breakpoint right here, and let's run. So imagine that we are buying something for $100. And the profit that I want is 50%. So if the profit is 50%, the price before tax is 150. Imagine now that the sales tax is 10%. I put like some round and easy values so I can at least do what we call happy path. I want to test something that is easy. So the sales tax will be 10%. So 10% from 150 is 15. So let's see, profit. We go here and then we can look here. So it's 50. Price before tax has to be 150. Price before tax 150. Is that why it's so nice to have the burger and the variables here? Now sales tax. So we'll calculate this percentage on top of this. So it will be 10% of 150 is 15. Oh, wait. What did I do wrong here? Oh, sales tax 15. That's there. I was looking to that. So it's 15. And now you calculate the sales price. That will be price before tax 150 plus the 15. So we have to sell this product but for 165 because we have to cover for the 100 that we spend. We want to make a profit of 50%, that is 50, and we have to pay tax to the government of the all amount I'm making. Sometime there is something here that can happen. So sometimes the tax we pay, depend of the type of the product, we pay only on top of the profit. Because it's like, oh, this is money out of your pocket. So you only gonna pay for what you gain. So if you buy 100 and you sell for 150, you are making $50. So sometime, depend what you're doing, the sales tax is applied on the profit. It's very important to know because this will change a lot. because 10% of 150 is 15. 10% of 50 is only 5. So if you do the wrong calculation, you can just break your company. Okay, so who is going to define that? Not you. If there is a bug in the code because you misunderstood the requirements, is on you. But if you follow the specs and that go wrong, of course, it's a bug, but it was not your fault. You follow what was there. So what I'm trying to say is that most of the time, we need someone that is going to tell us how to solve the problem. Whatever going to work. Real estate, e-commerce, we need someone that run the business. Remember, we are like the middle guys. We don't do the real business. We have to be very glad for everyone else out there that invests money, time, took the risk to build a company, and then we can have those awesome jobs. People complain about like millionaires, and oh, I love it. As more millionaires, better, because if they are being a millionaire, they are finding ways to make money, and they need more people to make that money. Okay, so I really respect people that go out there and generate business. They are way more valuable for society than we are, because they are the one that is having the ideas, creating stuff, and then take the risk, invest, and get loan from the bank to do stuff. And now we can have those awesome jobs, make a lot of money, just to, of course, it's hard, it's good work, but we don't have the same stress and risk that they had in the past, okay? So now let's see if we're printing everything correctly. Profit is 50, price before tax 150, because we could change the variables here, so we have to be very careful. Sales tax is 15, and then sales price is 150. Imagine that happened. After you finish your task, the interviewer will tell you, oh, sorry, no. Could you please apply the sales tax only on the profit? Because we have an agreement, we have something, the kind of product that we do. For example, when you sell a house in your own house, you only pay sales tax after a certain amount, so you don't pay in the full value. So imagine that during the interview or in your work, they say, oh, when you do the calculation, no, sorry, you should only apply the sales tax on the profit. So then you'll be glad that you did the calculation here. Because then you can say, oh, maybe now I don't even need this price before tax. Because what you do, let's see here what we can do. Okay, so we can comment this line. And you can say, oh, the sales tax will be applied on the profit. And then the sales price will be now the buy price plus the profit plus the sales tax. So it's very important to be able to do those changes, because this will help, it will happen a lot. And that's why it's important to have your variables break down. If you have just one huge expression doing all this calculation, that was possible, maybe it would be harder to change your code. So now let's test to see if the changes we did follow what was expected. Never trust what you did. Never. Okay? Every good engineer that I know are the one that, okay, let me check. And now we have to say, oh, we don't have this guy anymore. See, the IDEs even help me here. Now you save, and let's see if what we thought makes sense. Let's use the same values again. So it will be 100, how much we bought, how much profit you want, 50%. And the sales tax, let's do the same 10%. So that means now our profit is still the same, 150. Oh, where is it? Oh, our profit is 50. Our sales tax now will be the 10% over our profit. So it will be only 5. And our sales price will be how much we bought plus the profit that we won plus the tax. Now we have one sales price will be 155. Do you see the difference? 165 to 155. And then you print the profit, the sale tax, and the sale price. To be honest, depending of the type of the product and some rules, some countries, some states, you have to use either or other. So in real life, it's not so easy like just one formula. We'll learn later on how to select if it's need to do in a way or do in a different way. That is when we start to learn like coding to be more useful. We are just doing one part of the code here that is just calculation. Cool. So I will just go back to the other one that is the most common one, because the government say, do you know what? I want full money. I don't care that I want the tax. And it's fun, you know, because this is kind of unfair. Imagine that you buy a car that is $30,000 and then you sell the car for $32,000. Imagine that you pay out of your pocket $30,000 and then you sell for $32,000. So you are not make a high profit. So if you had to pay tax for the full amount, you'll be out of business very quickly, because if you pay the 10% of the 32, that is a lot. So is that why tax is not as easy as may see. And as software engineer, when you work in a company that does tax, you have to learn how to do it. Someone is going to tell you. Let's do this way. Assume that apply the sales tax on top of the buying price plus profit. When you start to work, make sure that you confirm those things and capture that, because later on when there is some confusion, you are covered. You say, oh, in my Jira ticket, I ask and then this is my answer. If it was your mistake, you say sorry, you fix and you move forward. If not, you're going to fix anyway, but at least it's not going to count against you. For example, you are working in a company, there is performance review. And if your manager sees that you have a lot of things on your plate that was mistake that you did, maybe you're not going to get a good review. You cannot claim that you are doing well. And as much as you can catch problem before, take note about that. So in your performance review, you bring that to say, oh, see, I was able to figure this out and make some questions. So that is some tips that take some time to learn it. I'm giving out just for the sake of sharing. Cool? So what I need you to do, don't trust what I'm teaching here. Homework. Go validate this using float numbers, using more values, and see if this is correct. Okay, if it's not, come to the comments and let me know. Cool. This is just like to help you understand that even a small problem like this, if we don't spend time to clarify what we expect to do, we'll do mistakes. And they are mistakes that will come, oh, why you did this way? Oh, I thought it was like this. Well, you should not thought, you should confirm. Okay? And yeah, let me see if there is something else here that we could think about this. No, I think this is enough. Okay? So, well, thank you for joining the class today. I hope you got the message here, and God bless you. See you next class. See you. Bye.